Hello everyone, this is Dimitar from the RedmineUP support. In this video I'm going to show you the difference between sprint statuses of the Agile plugin. So they are three: active, open and closed. These statuses are predefined, so there is no way to change them. So they are by the design of the plugin. Okay, so let's go to our demo server and now go to the Agile project and then settings. The sprints and sprint statuses accordingly could be checked here. So they are set if you edit a sprint status or when you create one. So in these ways you set the sprint status. Okay, in our case we have now two opened, one active and one closed. Let's start with the active sprint. The active sprint means that this is the default sprint on the Agile Scrum board. Okay, so this means that when you go to the Agile board and by default when you select Scrum board, you will see sprint 1. Here it is. Sprint 1 is the active one, so it is the default sprint. Okay, so let's try to change this behavior. So if you would like to set, for example, the sprint 3 to be active or default, we click edit and then change from open to active. And by the way, just a note, when you change this sprint to active, then the other one, the sprint 1, is automatically changed from active to open. So this means that the active default sprint could be only one. So yeah, it is logical. So you could not have two default sprints. Alright, so we save. Let's do it. Okay, so we changed sprint 3 to be active, and as we have said, sprint 1 has automatically moved from active to open status. Alright, so let's go and test. If we return to the Agile board, we go somewhere else, for example in the issues list, and then return back to the Agile board, just to find out that when we select Scrum board, then the sprint 3 is set by default. So this is the active sprint, and in other words the default sprint, it is number 3. Okay, so let's return back to the statuses. Now, what is meaning the open sprints? Open sprints are actually all non-closed sprints. So in our case, it is including the open and the active sprints. So one active and all other open are all open sprints. So we have one closed, and when we go to the Agile board and try to manually change this sprint, we see that we have sprint 1, sprint 2 and sprint 3. These are the open sprints. They are available from the drop-down menu of selecting the Agile sprints on the Scrum board. So yeah, when you click on the drop-down menu, these are here the open sprints. They are visible here. And what about the closed sprints? The closed sprints are, as you have maybe understand now, they are all non-open sprints. So in our case there is a sprint 4. As it is closed sprint, it is not visible from the drop-down menu. So all closed sprints are checked only into the sprints here, into the project settings. They could be sorry, they could be checked and edited into the project settings sprints tab, and they could be visible here, all the closed sprints, and they are not seen here because only the open sprints are seen here. And if you like, you could change, for example, the sprint 4 to be open. Okay, so sprint 4 is now open, and if we refresh our board here and click on the drop down menu, we see that sprint 4 is appearing here because it is now open sprint, right? And if you go back here and select, for example, the sprint 2 to be closed, we close it. Oh, the sprint with 2 open issues cannot be closed. This is a good warning. So 2 developers have issues to be done here, and yeah, we could not close the sprint. Alright, so let's go and see some other sprint. Let's see if we can close, for example, sprint 1. Okay, so we click it to be closed. Alright, so let's try an experiment. The sprint with open issues cannot be closed. Okay, so sprint 1, let's see how much issues it has. They are not so little as a number. Okay, so we are now going to close all these issues. So status is resolved, and this status is resolved. Now even closed. Okay, it is sprint 2. Let's try and see what will happen. We click on edit again. Now close. So they are resolved status, however they should be put into closed. Okay, so the closed column is now visible, and we mark all these issues to be closed. So we drag and drop into the closed. This move is not possible. Okay, so we are now going to delete this issue. Alright. So when we go now to Scrum board and sprint 2, there is nothing here because we put all into closed column. Yeah, all issues are closed. We do not have any issues here, so we are free to close sprint 2. Alright, sprint with the open issues cannot be closed, but now it is different thing. We have no open issues, and our sprint 2 is now closed. Okay, so if we go to the Agile board now and refresh it, go somewhere else and then return back to the Agile and select Scrum board and click on the drop down menu, we see that we no longer see the sprint 2 as it is a closed sprint. Okay, so yeah, this was a briefly description of the statuses of the sprints of our Agile plugin: open, active, and closed. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you like it, you could check other videos and articles from RedmineUP. Bye bye.